4:35 on TSN 690. It is Game Points. I'm your host, Matthew Ross. That music can mean only one thing. We go to Toronto for TSN 1050's Blue Blood. It's not getting old at all, is it? It's Matt Cauz, also a contributor to CFL.ca, and you can follow him on twitter.com/mcauz, CAUZ56. How you doing, buddy?
A little bit weird today. A little bit weird. I've been stuck in not stuck. It was by my own choice. I'm in a hotel just outside the airport, and I'm staying here for 5 days studying for my final exam because I wanted to get away from the world. And when you're in one of these large hotels by the airport, it's surrounded by either people going to conventions, hockey tournaments, or business travelers, and me. Like, everyone's got a place to go or with luggage that has wheels on it. I'm just sitting in a corner reading, sniffing a glass of wine. It's very strange, and I'm starting to get cabin fever.
I need to know what you're studying. I need to know what you're studying for.
Oh, sorry, my diploma level wine exam.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
No, of course I'm not. It is. And the best part is the room here has got about 12 bottles of wine. And every day when someone comes to clean the room, turn the bed over, I always go in and just remind them I'm not a raving alcoholic, that this is for study. But I kind of feel like the Russell Crowe movie, Beautiful Mind, but meets Leaving Las Vegas. That's sort of what I'm feeling like here.
So, Matt, my question is, I'm aware you have no kids, no pets. Why couldn't you just do this at home?
Because I have a girlfriend, and also just when you're at home, you can always clean something
an errand.
I wanted to get away and have no distractions. And trust me, where I am, I can see the Toronto Congress Center, power lines and planes, and there's a Harvey's, and that's really all I can see. So in terms of getting away from distractions, I mean, the only thing this place has is a water slide, but I feel that a 39-year-old man on a water slide is kind of creepy and would raise alarm, so I'm not going to use it.
Clutching a wine bottle.
Yeah, I think that parents with small children would probably furrow their brow if I was going down that water slide with a bottle of Cabernet.
We're chatting with Matt Cauz from TSN 1050. Well, listen, your telephone connection is A, quality, so I'm not going to complain about where you are.
I should just go into a hotel every time we do it. I'm on the show with you so that my phone works.
Yes, I'm not going to dispute that. All right, let's talk some sports here on the program now that we wasted half of it on wine. Blue Jays lose today, 5-0. That's back-to-back shutouts now against Toronto, albeit against a very good team. Is there panic now?
No, stop it. Of course there's no panic. It even started on Friday when they won 3-1, where, Toronto got a lot of hits, but stranding a lot of batters and, weren't able to cash in more runs. So you could start to see St. Louis's pitching. Listen, it's one of the better pitching staffs in baseball. Almost a no-hitter on Saturday, another brilliant performance today by Garcia. A tough day for Hutchison, who only went 3 innings. But no, it certainly isn't time to panic. You swept Detroit, who beat Boston yesterday, and losing a series against one of the elite teams in the National League. And I know that St. Louis, their record isn't as good as it has been in years past, but no reason to panic.
All right, Toronto, by the way, next plays Minnesota, who just picked up Kendry Morales today off the free agent heap, and a guy with 80 RBIs and 23 home runs last year. I guess because of Scott Boras, similar to Stephen Drew, priced himself out of a contract, and then because there was a if you sign him before this date, you got to give up a pick. He had to wait until after the MLB draft so that the Twins would sign him and the Twins wouldn't have to give up a pick. Great signing by Minnesota, do you think?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you think about Minnesota, what's always been the problem with this team is usually this is a team that can't hit. A lot of it's, their star players like Morneau are always getting injured. But, if you can add a guy like that and what he is he's a great stock in terms of he's a stock right now that you can get at a low value but has a lot of upside. There's a lot of return on investment with a guy like this. So, I mean, good for Minnesota. Shame on Scott Boras doing Scott Boras things, but it usually works out for him. My favorite thing about the Major League Baseball draft is I love to see which first round picks Toronto drafts and then never signs. So I'm excited to buy a jersey of another player that will never even get a paycheck in this organization.
You're not a jersey buyer, are you? I can't.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No. Once you're past 25. I don't know. I think there is an age where, most men should stop buying jerseys. And it's not me trying to be sports elitist or anything. I don't know. I think it's goofy when I see a guy in his 30s, especially when you tuck it in. If you're going to buy a jersey, that's pretty bad. Don't tuck your jersey into jeans or something. Don't try to make it seem like you're more formal. You've got on a Carlos Delgado jersey. Don't try to make it more than it is.
That's a fair point. It's good analysis right there.
Thank you. It's why I brought on here for the hardcore X's and O's sports that I can deliver.
All right, Matt, give me the latest on this whole CFL labor thing. Are you starting to sweat about it a little bit?
No, I'm not starting to sweat at all. I'm not worried at all. I hear reports. Listen, when was the last time a season was lost? This was the NHL back in under Bettman in 2004. Before that, Major League Baseball in 1994. These things. You're not going to have it. There's too much money. There's too much money at stake here. Players eventually are going to want to get a paycheck. You're hearing that a tentative agreement has reached out, and it's not like the two sides had a crazy amount of animosity. I mean, guys were at practice, and you didn't hear a ton of hate between both sides. Mostly, what you had was the CFL and the union both acting like politicians, releasing letters explaining to the public, "Oh, we're doing all we can," but the deal is going to get done. I have no concern.
None whatsoever. Wow. All right.
None at all. I'm an absolute optimist.
Now, are you predicting a high score on this wine test?
The pass rate is a little over 30%.
Wow.
Yeah, mostly people fail. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to take it one country at a time. I'm going to give it 110% proof alcohol and just hope that I can get 56% and pass the exam.
It's Matt Cauz joining us from TSN 1050 in Toronto. Hey, Matt, I wanted to ask you, the French Open obviously wrapping up today, but...
So boring. So boring, okay? Listen, I don't know what is more predictable, NBA playoffs or men's tennis, especially the French Open. Oh, look, Nadal won again. When was the last time he did that? Oh, yeah, like the last 8 years. I'm sick and tired of this. If you look at between Nadal and Federer and Djokovic, and I think Murray, who's got 2, they won like 34 of the last 36 or 38 Grand Slams. I don't mind, total parity is boring. But then on the other end, what you have here or in the NBA where, hey, look, the Heat are in it again. The Spurs are in it again. I get tired of it. There needs to be that mix between parity and, a couple dominant teams out there. And the same thing in tennis. I mean, did anyone there think Nadal wasn't going to win? Of course he was.
Well, I never actually got to ask you my question. You kind of just went on a rant there, but that's all right. I wanted to ask how the rest of the country is seeing, or at least in Toronto, the success over the last 2 Grand Slams of Montreal's Jeannie Bouchard and how they're taking to her. Because let's face it, Milos Raonic is about as interesting personality-wise as a doorknob.
Yeah, that's very unfair what you say there, Matt, because I've had a couple doorknobs in my time that were fascinating, that, were great dinner conversation, would tell a joke. So I think you should apologize to the doorknobs of the world. As for Bouchard, we're loving it. I tell you, during some of the matches, we were on live on Mako and Cauz, and we would dip in to some of the break points. And I think the difference is I think people feel with her is that there's enough of a ceiling where she could crack through and win a Grand Slam. Part of it is, the Williams sisters are getting older. And part of it, as I said, on the men's side, see, I can relate my rant earlier, is that on the men's side, there's only 2 or 3 people that win it all.
Yeah.
And I think there's a level of fatigue among tennis fans. So no one expects Raonic to win it all, but people expect that Bouchard's got the potential. So because of that, it's been a great story.
Are you a fan of hers? Is it must-watch television all of a sudden now, but like it was for example, when Federer was in his prime, or
if she's in the semis, And I'll be honest, I love to come on here and lie and say,
Yeah.
I watch every match in the preliminary rounds. I don't.
Yeah.
There's 24 hours in a day. Here's the thing: if you say you like all sports, then you love none of them. I focus on a couple sports. Other things, you've got to get my interest. Her in a quarterfinal, semifinal, certainly a semifinal, then you're going to have my attention. For instance, when Raonic was playing, I believe he was playing Djokovic, I didn't watch it all because I knew what was going to happen. But with her, it's certainly piqued my interest more than it has for women's tennis in a while.
Well, we wish you best of luck on your test. When is that?
Test is Wednesday. So I got here on Friday, and I'm stuck in this room until Wednesday morning. It's just me, about 50 pounds of textbooks, and 12 bottles of wine.
Why don't you just go up to the cottage?
Too many distractions because you want to go for a swim. You're going to want to fix something. Well, I don't fix things, but sweep something. Too many distractions. I had to come to a place that is completely devoid of personality. And when you're half a kilometer away from the airport, unless you want to be the dirty guy at the strip club, mission accomplished. There's nothing here.
You want something that's drab and dark and desolate. You could have gone to the ACC come springtime.
Oh. Look, we got to leave on a high note here. That's a good one.
That's not bad. All right, Matt. MCause56 on Twitter, and he'll be contributing to CFL.ca in the next few weeks as well. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And enjoyable to have a full conversation without my phone cutting out. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you.